Welcome to the EY.AI Unplugged Season 2, AI Agents of Impact, a special series by EY India Insights. In this episode, Agentic AI and the Future of Work, we explore how autonomous AI systems are redefining roles, reshaping workplaces, and empowering people to focus on higher value with human-centric tasks. As organizations experiment with agentic AI intelligent systems that can reason, act, and collaborate, in this episode, we will be discussing what this means for the workforce for tomorrow and how leaders can prepare for this transformation. Our guest for today is Anurag Malik, partner and leader of People Advisory Services at EY India. With over 3 decades of experience, Anurag has been at the forefront of helping organizations transform their people strategies, adapt to the technological-driven change, and build agile and future-ready workforces. Thank you, Anurag, for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Pallavi.
So, Anurag, to begin with, how is agentic AI changing the way organizations identify and assess high potential talent? And if you can cite some examples where data or AI surfaced as unexpected leaders.
Sure, Pallavi. Agentic AI, or actually AI, is having a very significant impact on the entire high potential talent identification process. What's happening is that the process, the high potential talent identification process, is shifting from a point in time input-based process to now a periodic in the flow of work decision-making process. What I mean by that is that traditionally the high potential decisions have come from sources like managerial judgment, performance reviews, or some organizations do one point in time assessments. With AI, what's happening is that now the lens of collecting data around high potential has become much broader, or is becoming much broader. So AI is helping organizations collate data from sources like projects, from sources like collaboration patterns, data on leadership behaviors, mobility, even how individuals respond to specific stretch or specific assignments that they're put on. So what's happening is that the source of data is moving from people, or is not being limited to people who are very visible, but individuals who are really contributing, who are agile, who are demonstrating the right kind of collaboration behaviors. In fact, at EY, we have a platform, an agentic AI enabled platform called EY Competency Connect, to bring a lot of this data together, behavioral, functional, technical data together, to provide much deeper insights, enabling organizations to take high potential talent decisions. So that's the shift that's happening from a point in time to something that happens continuously in the flow of work.
Thank you, Anurag. Adding to the previous question, as AI influences people's decisions, where should the line be between the data and judgment?
The way I look at it, AI is like the flashlight, or it's like the headlights of the car, while leaders hold the steering wheel of the car. What AI is doing is that it's helping us interpret data so that leaders are getting insights on aspects that they may have missed, trends, blind spots, inconsistencies in data. So AI is providing today insights where the analysis, the perspective is only able to sharpen human accountability for these decisions. Now, what's certainly not happening is that AI is not being used as a standalone for selection, promotion, termination decisions. It's still finally human accountability, human perspective that helps in taking these decisions. But there's a clear shift happening from what we used to call it as managerial judgment, leadership judgment, or leadership gut feel, to now much more structured inputs available, data inputs available coming from AI that enable these decisions. I think what we're also seeing is that while the trend is very clear in terms of using AI, agentic AI, more and more for selection, performance, high potential, career decisions. However, what organizations need to be careful is that the underlying quality of data that enables these decisions has to be very credible. So definitely work needs to be done on ensuring validity, reliability of that data. And the other aspect is the ethical use of AI, that organizations, leaders hold themselves accountable that the way AI is being used or data is being used to take decisions is within the boundaries of what we call ethical use of AI.
Thank you, Anurag. Now, beyond talent and assessments, where is agentic AI having the biggest operational impact in the HR?
Pallavi, it's having an impact across the entire HR value chain, what we call actually in work flow execution. So uh, if you look at the HR value chain, starting from hiring to onboarding to performance management to learning to exit, agentic AI is having a very significant impact. Aspects like approvals, policy clarifications, scheduling, consolidating feedback, generating insights about individuals, about talent from multiple sources. The usage of agentic AI is absolutely growing by leaps and bounds. The interesting thing that's happening is that many processes which were dependent on multiple data sources or data lying across multiple systems or based decisions which were based on inputs from multiple individuals. AI is simplifying a lot of that, consolidating it, uh, and providing an easier body of data that's available now for decision making. Let me give you a specific example. We're working for a very large IT services company, and the process we picked up for agentification was around internal job mobility. Now, as we looked at the process, we realized that it's something that the organization would run every quarter, and thousands of people would be eligible for job rotation or job mobility. But the amount of transactional workload that would go into consolidate data about people, seek perspective from their managers, ensure that the right kind of business logic is applied. It was an extremely transactional exercise. With agentic AI, we believe that we're going to take off almost about 70% of the transactional workload. Just an example around the potential that agentic AI brings to HR workflow simplification and execution.
Thank you, Anurag. Now, pivoting towards our firm's efforts. So, how is EY helping organizations make significant investments for building AI capability at scale?
We're seeing that organizations across sectors are focusing on strengthening, on improving AI fluency across levels, actually. It's no longer only limited to leadership layers, it cuts across levels. Uh, the focus on AI capability building, spans across, basic awareness building initiatives to deep functional or deep technical know-how around AI capabilities. It, really depends on the roles, the kind of outcomes expected from people at different level. Uh, in our experience, as we've engaged with organizations across sectors, we're seeing that there is a good and simple framework around driving, AI capability building at scale. Uh, Across sectors, we are seeing that there are basically four personas. When you look at AI capability building, when you look at creating learning journeys, there are basically four personas that can be used to cluster the entire organization. Persona number one is ambassadors. That's really the leadership layer of the organization where AI capability building needs to be focused on building strategic AI capabilities, helping understand what's the best that's happening in their sector globally when it comes to AI use cases, and ensuring that they really uh, become ambassadors for championing AI and AI initiatives across the organizations. That's the ambassador persona. The second is actually the translator persona. Basically, individuals who are functional specialists, but would be provided deep AI capabilities. So they become translators. They help translate the functional know-how into AI-based initiatives. That's called the translator persona, and we are seeing it cut across every functional area: finance, supply chain, operations, engineering, HR, etc. The third persona is actually AI specialist or technology and implementation specialist, which is around focusing on the current technology, IT, digital, even MIS population that an organization has, building deeper technical capabilities when it comes to AI. And the fourth persona is the aspirant persona, which actually includes everybody else in the organization. So, what's the basic minimum AI capability building that you need to provide to individuals across levels, individual across functional areas? These are the four personas, and we've repeatedly seen that across sectors, organizations are able to put their employees into these four personas and appropriate and assign the appropriate learning journey. At EY, we started this entire initiative more than 2 years back where we created our own EY academy called AI Varsity. And over the last 2 years, we've skilled almost 45,000 people across levels in EY India on AI skills. And today, we're taking some of this learning to our clients across sectors, across locations. It's one of the largest AI capability building initiatives that EY is running across the country.
Thank you, Anurag. Now, lastly, how can HR decision makers enable workforce to work confidently with agentic AI?
What I've repeatedly seen is that it's important for leaders to understand that for AI to make a significant dent to their everyday life, they need to make it a part of their everyday work, not a side initiative or not a project on the side. The way people get comfortable using AI is when they start using AI into their day-to-day jobs. Drafting documents, responding to emails, summarizing meetings, doing analysis on their complex Excel-based data sets, etc. We've seen as people start using AI in some of these day-to-day applications, in a week, people are able to release anything from 3 to 8 hours of their time. That's a lot of time release that they can effectively deploy on many other tasks. So the shift, what I'm trying to say, is not only about learning AI. It's about learning how to work with AI and understanding that AI can potentially do anything from 25 to 50% or even more of your everyday work. You need to treat AI as a working partner, not as a project. Once you do that, you will see AI adoption, the comfort with AI building happens naturally.
Thank you, Anurag. Thank you for sharing your insights on how agentic AI is reshaping the world for work and what it means for businesses and employees alike.
Thank you, Pallavi. Those were some really insightful conversation. I hope some of the experiences I shared are useful for our listeners.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to the EY.AI Unplugged Season 2 AI Agents of Impact. Stay with us as we continue to explore how AI is driving innovation, inclusion, and impact across industries. You can listen to more episodes of this series on ey.com or your preferred podcast platform. Until next time, this is Pallavi signing off.